Alrighty, so it's been a while since I actually made a Demon Slayer video, and that's pretty much all I used to make content on anime-wise, so I figured I'd go back to my roots a little bit with Season 3 of the anime coming out, and also My Hero Academia being on break this week. So today I'm going to talk about Muichiro Tokito, the Mist Pillar, and how he views all the other Hashiras, so let's get into it. In regards to Shinobu, Muichiro says she looks like a swallow bird and has a gentle smile, so I actually had to look up what a swallow bird is, and they're just very kind of cute, gentle looking birds, which would make sense since that's how Shinobu presents herself the majority of the time. Obviously, it's because she's hiding immense anger for what happened to her sister at the hands of Upper Rank 2 Doma, but, you know, we'll get into that maybe in another video. Next up is Tengen Uzui, the flashiest of all the Hashira, of course, and in regards to him, Muichiro says he's like a monkey, once in a while he messes with my head, and I find that really funny, because the two have very opposing personalities, as Muichiro is very quiet and reserved, and Tengen, of course, is very outspoken and constantly loud, so I guess that's what he means by him messing with his head. So in between recording that last part and this part, I actually managed to somehow drop my microphone, and now it has a funny indent, which I'll show, so if the microphone quality sounds worse, I apologize, but I must await the arrival of a new one that I'm gonna order, so just bear with me for this video, and thanks. Now moving on to the Serpent Hashira Iguro Obanai, you're gonna notice the trend that Muichiro describes each pillar as an animal at first before going into further detail, so I just thought that was a cool little thing to point out. So regarding the pillar, he says, he's like a wildcat, he's a quiet person, he has beautiful eyes as well. I was surprised at first given that his left and right eye color is different, so this makes sense. He has very cool looking eyes, the different colors of course. And yeah, he's pretty quiet overall, kind of like a wild cat, never know necessarily if he's gonna strike, so yeah, this all makes sense from Muichiro's point of view. Next up is Gyome, the strongest of the Hashira, and in regards to him, Muichiro says he's like a bear, he's the strongest person. Again, nothing too surprising here. He's the largest of the Hashira physically, so that makes sense for the bear part, and he's also the strongest, which I guess bears are probably the strongest of land animals, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a scientist or any of that, so on to the next one. Real quick, actually, another thing to note is that Muichiro, unlike Gyome, who's the tallest, is the second shortest of the Hashira, only to Shinobu, so that could also make the bear comparison quite relevant and kind of funny as well. In regards to the water pillar Giyu, who's seemingly the black sheep of the Hashira, Muichiro says that he's like a decorative object, essentially saying that he just doesn't really provide much, or he's just like an ornament on the wall, or I guess on like the Christmas tree, where he's just there, not necessarily adding too much, but you could say an ornament adds a little bit. I don't know, it's just a decorative object. He's pretty much just saying he's like a chair or something. I find this pretty funny because Muichiro himself isn't necessarily the most outspoken or social Hashira, but even he views Giyu as this kind of lesser talkative, antisocial guy, which I find pretty funny. And yeah, that's about it. We don't actually get much interaction between the two in the series, but they seem to have an okay relationship. Now, speaking about everybody's favorite Hashira, the Flame Hashira Rengoku, Muichiro says he's like an owl, he's a lively person with a pleasant voice, so yeah, this lines up with everything we've seen from him. All the other Hashira respect him and also enjoy his presence. Seeing him is very lively and positive, unlike Tengen, who's very lively, but sometimes a little too flamboyant. Rengoku's just great, he's unparalleled, honestly, he's easily my favorite Hashira, so yeah, he seems to be Muichiro's as well. When describing the lovely love pillar Mitsuri, Muichiro says she's like a pink-colored chick going cheap. Her hair is beautiful, so I find this pretty cute and funny. Going back to the fact that Muichiro describes everyone pretty much as animals first, the pink-colored chick is very cute, especially the cheap and all that. I mean, what more is there to say? Mitsuri is very cute and pretty much liked by, I think, everyone in the corps. And her hair is really cool. If you haven't noticed, that's actually like has 3 pigtails or ponytails, whatever they're called. I always thought it was 2, but apparently it's 3, and the colors are really cool, so yeah, moving on. And finally, last but kind of least actually, because aside from Giyu, Muichiro says the least about him, is Sanomi the Wind Pillar. In regards to him, Muichiro says he's like a wolf. As per usual, there's not too much here since Muichiro is a man of few words, but we can attribute the wolf comparison to Sanomi's bloodlust for killing demons and hunger to do that, as well as the fact that he's not necessarily friendly, so yeah. That's it for this video. It also says that Muichiro's overall level of openness is 40%. He's not the least social, I guess, that would be Giyu, but he's also not the most social, and at this point in the story, I guess he also has the memory disorder, which he eventually overcomes in the Swordsmith Village arc. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you did, please comment. I do like reading them, and I'll see you in the next one.